Sorry, you want to do it?
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Carol Gaming coming with a new deck profile, which is I'll let my friend Rory take over from there.
Yeah, so this deck is inspired by the Yang Zing deck run by the Card Guys tournament back in, when was it? Like May?
I'll link it in the description.
I think it was May. Anyway, it's a Yang Zing pendulum deck, and it's pretty interesting. It's got some cool combos, so I'll show.
Do you
I'll
think
show you the
you'll
cards.
change it to Metal Fists? Yang Zings.
I don't know. Well, I'll need to test first. Anyway. 3 Jital. If you don't know what this card does, it's the only Yang Zing card that's fast. Um,
I thought they were all in the battle phase.
you pitch 2, and you special 2 Yang Zings from your deck. So,
That is pretty good.
yeah.
I can see why it's gone up in price now.
Yeah. Plus, it's also got the regular Yang Zing effect, which is if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you special another Yang Zing from your deck. There's a few other details, but pretty much it can use one of these effects each turn. It's pretty much the combo cards. If you want to go off, you get this card, and it opens up a lot of combo plays that we'll explain later. 3 Chewing. This is the other good Yang Zing card.
My favourite one.
That is not a pendulum. No, my favorite is coming up. I'll show you it. It's got the same special when destroyed by battle or card effect, but its other effect is if it hasn't used that first effect, you can special summon it from the grave when another Yang Zing you control is destroyed. So
Pretty good.
yeah, it's
It's also a defensive option.
yeah, there are some variants of the combos that allow you to do extra things depending on if you've got a Chiwain to use. Because you need to pitch a Yang Zing to activate his effect. If you pitch a Chiwain, then you've got a Chiwain engraved that you can proc later in your combos. Alright, so 2 backs, yeah.
Why two Baxi and two behind?
2 Swanee, and then 1 Talty.
I need a question on these.
Right. The purpose of these cards is that they're the engine. Okay, they all have that effect to special summon another one. Also, here's an important thing. As opposed to the tuners, these 2 are tuners, by the way. I should maybe have stressed that before, but they're tuners. The non-tuners.
None of these are tuners.
None of these are tuners. Now,
I thought they were all tuners.
no, the only tuners are Jital and Chewing. Now, they all have the effect to special summon Yang Zing that isn't themselves. Once per turn when destroyed by battle or card effect. The ones with 0 defense special summon their Yang Zing in attack position. The 0 attack one special summon in attack. The 0 defense one special summon in defense. That's how you remember. That's important for, not taking damage. The tuners special summon in attack or defense.
It's up to you.
You run 2 each of the level 4 lures because you can then search out multiples. If you pitched a Bian from your hand for Jital, you can still then activate Bian's effect later on in combos. You run a varied amount because sometimes you need different levels. They also have different effects when used as synchros. If you use Bian as a synchro, the synchro monsters are unaffected by traps. Use Dixie. Use Bian, the earth, it can be destroyed by battle. Use Swanee, the fire, it gains 500 attack and defense. And if you use Talty, it cannot switch control from a card like, say, Change of Heart.
But change your heart's not legal.
Yeah. The other
Enemy controller.
Yeah, enemy controller.
The one I use against you.
Yeah, well, that would make enemy controller useless. But Talty's pretty much there to be level 5.
In case you need it.
Yeah. But yeah, they're pretty much there as an engine because, of course, each of these guys can search out Jital. So even though you're only running 3 Jitao, if you've got the right cards, you're actually running this many Jitao.
About 20 Jitao.
That's the reason the deck's so consistent. Anyway, here is my favourite Yang Zing, Zephyr Nui.
Really? That one?
Yeah, because it's the pendulum. It's
And
not,
he's got a big booty.
it's not just that. His effect is just great. It's just a great effect. When he's pendulum summoned or destroyed by battle or card effect, you can search out a Yang Zing or Zephyr spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So, the way you make advantage from the combos is you search these out, you make synchros with them, and then later on, if you've got the right cards, you can pendulum summon and search out your good Zephyr and Yang Zing cards and start plussing each turn.
The rules are always plussing with Yang Zing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you can go off in one turn and pretty much set yourself up for next turn.
And you'll never be neg.
And then you run this guy because he's a searchable level 1 pendulum scale. This guy's 7. You can search this guy off Oracle. His effect never really matters. It's just the level and being another name. Alright, 2 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon.
I don't understand that.
Well, for the Odd Eyes engine, you run 2 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon and 2 Odd Eyes Unicorn. Now, there's a Phoenix card that's Pendulum Scale 2. You don't run that because the relevant pendulum monster, being Zephyr Nui, is level 6. So Odd Eyes is a low scale for this deck.
Mm-hmm.
Him being...
Is that the one from the Mega Pack?
Yeah, that's the, Platinum Rare.
Hmm.
It's alright. It's cheap, that's the important part.
Aren't all copies of it cheap now?
Yeah. I mean, as soon as it came out, I thought, well, this card's definitely getting reprinted, but it took longer than expected.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
It came out in the Star Pack and all, didn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
1 monkey board because
The most broken Yu-Gi-Oh card ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say no to monkey board because of
3 pluses.
yeah, you run Pendulum Dragon. So after you've done all your plays for the turn, and you've had Pendulum Dragon sitting there, you trade it in for a monkey board, which is a free pendulum scale next turn. So even if your opponent clears your board, you're able to do it all again next turn.
Unless to 1 Twister and Anti-Spell Fragrance.
Yeah. 1 eccentric archdemon.
Why 1?
Well, you run more in the side. You only main 1 because honestly, this deck is really ham. You need your plays to go off as soon as possible. I mean, even then, sometimes you get per hand, but as long as you have some Yang Zings, you can stall with their, floating. But yeah,
The old floaty Yang Zing thing.
Yeah.
When they first came out. It's pure Yang Zing.
I mean, this deck's very fast, but it can always fall back on that. And this
The most
card's important.
trolly thing in the world.
Card's important for getting rid of certain things.
Yeah. Vanity's Emptiness.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing.
And Prohibition.
3 Sky Iris because Odd Eyes Engine works with the Yang Zing cards. You pretty much...
I need to learn how the combo with that and the unicorn goes off.
You play your Bian, you play your Sky Iris, you search out an Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and then you trade your Bian for a Jitao.
3 pluses everywhere.
Yeah, there's nothing bad about that. And the other field spell is 2 Oracle of Zephyr because Zephyr, we can bring it back with Zephyr Nui. And when it's played, you search out a Zephyr monster. So So it's searchable. It's a searchable scale, or it's a Zephyr name to pitch for Jitao. And it has other effects down at the bottom there. Just ignore them. They sometimes come up. I won't lie, they sometimes come up, but for combo purposes, it's not too important.
When I used to play Alien Zephyr, never once used Oracle Zephyr.
Yeah, I mean, I think the synchro effect is you put a monster from your deck on top of your deck, but
That's pretty good.
yeah, but if you've got a Yang Zing on the field and it gets blown up and you want to search, then you end up shuffling your deck anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes pointless. The other thing is, since you want to make an unbreakable board in one turn, your next turn doesn't matter what you draw. Unless you screwed up. Or your opponent, drew everything they needed.
Twin Twister, Regeki,
Yeah.
Anti-Spell.
3 terraforming, searches those broken field spells. 1 Odd Eyes Fusion for the Odd Eyes engine. It's good. It's just this is a
Isn't
really
that
good card.
Isn't that for the Broken Fusion?
Yeah, the Broken Fusion.
Didn't I see you pull that off against Dan?
Yeah, it's great.
Didn't you basically win the game from that?
Yeah. You play your whole hand. Your opponent somehow gets around it, and you run all these broken one-off cards that just win you the game by themselves. It's great, and it's all searchable. Yang Zing Path are
The most annoying spell card in the world.
searchable pot vibers for the deck. Plus,
That's why it's annoying.
usually if you open pot vibers, you can't do much with it. Unless you've got the other plays, but if you don't have that many plays, you can just pitch this card for Jitao.
Yep.
Nothing bad about that card. Tiller of Darkness. It's
Good.
consistency. Yeah, consistency is important. It's a little more about you do run darks, but I think the main reason you run allures is because Sky Iris searches Pendulum Dragon. So as long as you have the Sky Iris, i.e. as long as you have a terraforming to get into Sky Iris, to get to the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, you've always got a way to play Allure. So because you can play Allure, you do play Allure.
You always play Allure.
I know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Logic. Drawing is good. Upstart Goblin, Yu-Gi-Oh! Logic, drawing is good.
Oneness is too good.
Soul Charge.
It's the most broken card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami, please no hat.
Yeah, remember way back when I was talking about single cards that win us the game after we've made an unbreakable board?
Soul Charge.
Or maybe we make the unbreakable board with this card.
When you do that against Darren in a second game, you shreked him with that.
Yeah, Darren is having a good day.
Darren's always having a good day.
Slow Morning, I'm not gonna lie, this should be Zephyr Divine Path, which is a searchable Solemn Judgment. You can look up what Zephyr Divine Path does. And that's what this card's supposed to be, but I didn't have it, so I just ran this, and it wasn't really that big a deal. There was one game where I searched a path, and I really would have liked to search the counter trap, because that's how you make an unbreakable board. But Soul Morning's not bad, it's just, it should be a different card.
It's not the way the deck should be.
Yeah, take note, people. Alright, now...
Spend the extra money.
Yeah, spend the extra 99 pence.
Wait, it's only 99 pence?
Yeah.
When I checked, when I was trying to build Alien Zephyr, it was like £20 or something.
Oh well. Cards change. Anyway, here's the extra deck. The extra deck is also important. Similar to BAs, they run, engine pieces, and the deck really wants to make a big synchro unbreakable board. So take
notes.
One Herald of the Arclight. If you don't have any prior knowledge about Yang Zing's, this card is very good. This is Solemn Judgment. This is
Macrocosmos?
Yeah, it's kind of a macrocosmos. It's a cosmos for most of the relevant decks. Any monster sent from hand or main deck to the graveyard is banished. So,
Always a good card, no matter the ban list.
yeah. So that hits most of the relevant stuff.
I still haven't figured a way around that.
Now here's the reason. Apart from the fact that this deck synchros, here's the big reason why Herald is good in this deck.
Yeah.
When you synchro with Bian, the monster can't be destroyed by battle, which means that the usual way to get around to Herald, summon the monster, attack over it, then make plays, you can't do that anymore. You know? I mean,
My way was just straight up Regeki.
yeah, but then we negate the Regeki.
No one's ever done that to me.
Yeah, it's just an extra difficult thing for people to get over, because the Bian was relevant in the game against Darren.
Yeah.
No, Johnny. That effect was relevant because he couldn't do anything while this was on the field. And
What
then
deck was he playing that day?
he was playing his Lunalights.
Oh yeah.
And then I ran this deck because it has so many outs to Lunalights.
You strategized.
One inch Fairy Dragon.
Why that though?
Well, before I go on to talk about it, I'm gonna say that I didn't actually play it once. So take this with a pinch of salt. But the idea was that if you go first and you're trying to make unbreakable boards and such, first of all, an additional normal summon is good.
Wait, that lets you normal summon again?
Yeah, this gives you an additional normal summon, but you can't attack that turn. So if you go first and you're trying to make plays, it's pretty good. You can,
Better than I thought.
yeah.
I'm actually look mine out now.
So that's that. But the primary reason for running it, in terms of combos, is that you destroy a field spell to search a field spell from your deck and gain 1,000 life points, because that's relevant.
Always relevant.
Always. So you take one of your broken field spells and trade it for another one of your broken field spells. You know? If you make Ancient Fairy Dragon, you can trade a Sky Iris for Zephyr, or more importantly, trade Zephyr for Sky Iris, because that can set up your pendulum plays. It's because there's a good play you can make without the pendulums, and then there's a great play you can make with your pendulums. This is a way to turn your advantage into pendulum cards with the field spells.
Why Konami will never stop pendulums.
One black rose because it's a good synchro. That's it.
Basically a dark hole.
Yeah, and
Heavy Storm in the same card.
yeah,
Pretty much.
I forgot to mention something about these guys here. The regular Yang Zings, the non-tuners, they can synchro during your opponent's main phase or battle phase.
Always a good thing.
Yeah, so Black Rose when your opponent's trying to pendulum is not bad.
In their battle phase.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Just screw them over. Works against, what do you call them? Let me think of their names. Kieran runs them. They like to have as many monsters as possible. Send you.
You send you. One Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. It's kind of the Abyss Dweller for synchros. Negates monsters during the battle phase. But you also kind of need to run it because of Odd Eyes Fusion. You need an Odd Eyes in your extra deck in order to make plays. But it's a good card by itself, so yeah, definitely run this. One Yang Zing.
Yazzie.
Yeah. It's,
My favourite one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You only run one because one's usually...
Is that ulti or is that secret?
Ulti. That's ulti.
Gonna miss ultis.
Yeah, it's first of all, can't be targeted by opponent's card effects. That's pretty relevant. It means it's like an auto out to Burning Abyss sometimes, or other decks. You combine that with some of the effects of Yang Zing's, like can't be destroyed by battle, or make it 31 beater. You know, easy game. Second
Easy
effect,
game, easy life.
yeah. Second effect, it's Scrap Dragon, and having a Scrap Dragon when all your monsters float is also pretty good. You know, out stuff, lets your combos go through. And when it's destroyed, you get to search a worm from your deck and special summon it in defense position. So even if you can't make plays, this can search out Jitao. I mean, you can synchro this Scrap Dragon itself to one of your opponent's card, search out your Jitao, proceed to play the game.
Win the game, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's just a whole lot of utility for a single card. I mean, come on. Although, not nearly as much utility as this card. This card's insane. This card is insane.
I've never seen that played.
This Baxia
Mhm.
is okay. I haven't said this yet. But Baxia is insane.
One of the second most broken cards of this deck.
Okay, so the first thing is it when it's synchro summoned, shuffle cards in the field equal to the number of Yang Zings used for its synchro. Or is that just worms? Worms. Number of worms used for its synchro. You tend to play a number of worms in your deck, so
Everything's a worm.
yeah. So whenever you make this, you pretty much get the option of shuffling two things away. So if you're going second and you're going into your opponent's board or whatever, while you're going off with your combo, you just get to shuffle things away from them.
So basically it's
Yeah.
what's that monarch called? The one that shuffles everything. Erebus.
Yeah, Erebus. It's kind of like Erebus. It's only on the field though. But yeah,
You can't have Yang Zing too broken.
I was playing second into Yusenju's and they didn't have the cards they needed to stop me because he runs a load of floodgates. He didn't have the right floodgates. So I just kept making Baxias which are used in the combo. So while I was making my unbreakable board, I left him with one card at the end of the turn anyway. Just
What
before
card?
he did anything. I don't know what card. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's not even the best effect. That's the sickening part. The other effect is that you can target a card you control and a level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard. Any level 4 or lower monster. Destroy the first target and special summon the second target.
That's pretty broken.
Alright, so that's why Herald became infamous as a Yang Zing card, because you can bring it back with Baxia and have... It's just a solemn judgment that you special summon and bring back each turn.
It's not broken at all.
Yeah, it's fair. Oh,
Konami no hit.
oh, and by the way, destroying cards you control, I don't know, how about all those pendulum cards, or all those Yang Zings that float, or how about all those field spells we just left lying around? Just free cards. It's
Cards everywhere.
It's ridiculous. I mean, without Baxia, the combos in this deck wouldn't be functional. I mean, I'm pretty sure if any other card was missing, the deck would find a way to work as long as Baxia existed.
Yeah.
Alright. One Ignister Prominence, because we're a
Broken.
deck. Outs things that nothing else outs, like, Dark Destroyer. I mean, while this card exists, I don't know how Cosmo can really play Yu-Gi-Oh!
But they still do one of the top decks.
One Bell Z, because
Please, the most broken card in
I was kind of running this because I was like, I need an out to Dark Destroyer. Then I read Prominence, and I was like, well, maybe I don't.
But Bleed still makes the list of broken
Yeah.
cards in this extra deck.
It's still good. It's just if you're out of options and you can make Bell Z, because quite often when you're out of options you can make a synchro. This is pretty good just for turning your luck around. on Void Ogre Dragon because it's one of those cards you make when you're making an unbreakable board because it negates spells and traps.
Spells are one of the most hardest things.
Because you make a lot of level 8s, so you just throw that one at the end and you negate Brigeki or something, keeping your held alive. On Chao Feng, if you don't know what this does, right, Chao Feng, it's pretty much Light Imprisoning Mirror for the attribute of the Yang Zing monsters you use. Or is it Worm? Gotta double check that. It's Yang Zing monsters. So if you synchro this using Jitao, which is dark, you pretty much stop Burning Abyss cards being able to play.
Dry face.
Yeah. Because you run a fair amount of attributes, so it's not hard to create a Chao Feng that actually stops your opponent being able to play. It also has other...
You play an F1?
Yeah. Bian. The level 3.
Oh yeah. I forgot about him.
When it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you add a tuner from your deck to hand, and when a monster you control, not necessarily this card, destroys opponent's monster by battle, oh. No, it's actually even better. When a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you add a worm type monster from your deck to your hand with the same attribute as one of those monsters.
Okay.
This is relevant. Mostly, I remember in Cosmos, destroying. I had this out. I'd made it with light monsters, so I was negating his tin can. Then I blew up the tin can and searched a Chewayne, which is, cool. Like, if you've got this out and its effect is relevant, it's very hard for your opponent to play around it. That's it. One Trishula because you can.
Is that one or is it unlimited?
That's that one. That's
Alright.
That one. What nowadays Vortex Dragon? I don't think I should explain this. It's good. It's
broken.
It's another card that negates. You'll have noticed there's a lot of cards in this extra deck that negate cards for no good reason. And it also bounces a card. And it's also got 3000 defense. And it's also level 8. So
Konami, please.
and then you run 2 Exceeds.
For even more brokenness.
2 level 8s because of all the backseas you make. Hope Harbinger because...
Spells are one of the hardest things to negate.
Yeah. This is for negating spells. So if you've got a big board and you're frightened of Regeki, or you never made Void Ogre and you're worried. Or you can make Felgrand if you're worried about the monster your opponent's going to play. Sometimes I've made this and wished I'd made this in order to stop I don't know, a tin can. I'll keep mentioning Cosmos. Oh, and just to cover myself, the reason that just any monster with Felgrand. Alright, I'll talk briefly about the side deck, but the problem with the deck is that it's very all or nothing. You really need to commit all your cards to making the combo work and to going first and making sure your opponent doesn't go first or max sees you or anything, because then you just lose. Effect Veiler Jitao, forget about it, game 2. But in saying that, what I did was I used a couple of extra deck cards inside. Now I'll just touch on a couple of the extra deck cards you could see because I didn't use it that much. One Metafi's Horse because it was an out to some things. I was running this again as an out to Dark Destroyer, and particularly that Lunalite fusion, but then I read Prominence again. It's too good. But yeah, this is pretty much a one-sided creature swap if used with a pendulum monster. Plus you can, if you use it with an effect monster, it negates a card on the field. So that's a couple of relevant effects for certain matchups, but I figured you don't need it for the main because it's not for the combos,
Yeah.
Crimson Blader, this is for Monarchs, really. If you
gotta hate it when you're viewing Monarchs.
Yeah. The thing about Crimson Blader is that it's only relevant if you get to attack that turn. So you have to be going second, and you need your opponent to not have cards to stop you and stuff like that. So it's only relevant sometimes, and obviously against decks that make level 5 or higher monsters. But if you can get its effect off consistently, it can really turn the game against Monarchs, which is a bad matchup for every deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Clearwing Synchro Dragon.
The ghost version.
It is another card that stops cards, so that's why I'm running that.
Broken.
And I ran one Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon because I thought I can bring this out for some silly reason, can't I? There's some silly way I can bring this out with. Yeah, I'm not sure, but you can make rank 7. I wasn't that interested in Dragosack because we've got Scrap Dragon, Yahtzee. I wasn't that interested in
Number 17.
and I wasn't that interested in Big Eye.
Yeah.
Because we have Matafi's horse.
Is Big Eye 17 or is that 11?
Yeah, Big Eye's number 11. But this interested me because it negates tax. So it's pretty much a very expensive utopia in terms of card advantage. But
it doesn't die when it loses its material.
The point is, in terms of making an unbreakable board, you already negate a whole lot of spells and traps and monster effects and stuff. But one of the things that can be annoying is if your opponent attacks. I noticed that against Lunalights and Cosmos and some of the decks that I was playing, and I figured I'll keep this inside for particularly Lunalights, and then in some situations, if I can't do a proper combo, maybe I can only make 2 7s, bring this out, and this will dissuade them from attacking, because every time you negate an attack, you get a free Odd Eyes monster.
Yeah, you get the synchro.
Alright, and here's a couple of obvious choices. Another Eccentric for outing more cards. Another Twin Twisters for outing cards. Dark Hole for outing cards. It's fine to run Dark Hole because you have, again, all your Yang Zings when they're destroyed. Search out Jitao, so you can Dark Hole.
Pretty much any time you want.
Yeah, you can Dark Hole as an engine piece. To search Jitao, you can Dark Hole.
Why not Regeki main deck then? Dark Hole main deck even.
Well, it's that thing again. You really need to commit to the combo. You have to say, right, I'm going first, which means they're not going to have any monsters on the field, which means Regeki and Dark Hole should be combo pieces. But the Dark Hole is there if you need it. In fact, I would say that you would pretty much almost always run Dark Hole over Regeki because Dark Hole has the capacity to become an engine piece. And if you're going first, you should be okay anyway. In terms of monsters, if you go second, Dark Hole and Regeki will do the same thing. Logically, the reason the only real out you run in your main deck is Eccentric Archfiend is because it doubles as a pendulum.
Yep.
And that leads on to the one interesting side deck card I ran, which was Zombie World.
Monarchs?
Yes. But the reason you run this, and the reason I stuck to Ancient Fairy Dragon, is because you run a lot of field spells already. Then you can use your Ancient Fairy Dragon in order to search out Zombie World by tributing a Sky Iris. So
always nice.
Yeah, you can just set up a Zombie World, and it's not just Monarchs. Sometimes, because it turns all monsters into zombies, sometimes it can actually affect other cards. You never know. But the point is, it's searchable with your engine pieces. So I figured, yeah, that's a pretty good card to run. Alright, so that's the whole deck. Would you like me to go over some combos or something?
Yeah, if you want.
Sure. If you've got time.
We're at like 35 minutes.
So yeah, these are cards that you want to see. Hang on. I'll just get a couple of cards out. Between It seems
Couple flings them all out. Flings the whole deck at someone. Here's a couple cards.
Alright. So I'm going to just say start Jitao.
What would be your perfect ideal hand for going second with this deck?
For going second. Well, it's tough to say because
Wait, this isn't an OTK deck, so it likes going first, so...
it's not really OTK. There have been times where I've had a good hand going second, have not been able to OTK because the deck is built solely for going first.
First then.
Going first, well, you'd probably be looking at something like one Sky Iris, one Yang Zing name. No, not that. That's terrible. I hate that. And honestly,
Those two are pretty much the only two that matter.
yeah, like if you like two other Yang Zing names after that, just like in your mind, just two Yang Zing names. Opening monkey board is pretty darn good, but
What about Allure or not?
yeah, opening Allure's okay. You pretty much trade Pendulum Dragon and Allure for 2 cards, so it doesn't make that much difference. Opening Soul Charge is good, of course. But
We're going back to the broken card again.
once I explain the combos, you'll understand that the deck pretty much does what it needs to do consistently. Yeah, I'll show you. So, an example would be play Jitao. If you don't have Jitao, just play any of the Yang Zing names.
Then use Sky
Sky
Iris,
Iris.
then pop it.
Yeah, Sky Iris pops Bian, search out Odd Eyes Pendulum, or in this case we'll search out Unicorn, and then Bian searches Jitao, and then you may proceed as planned and play that as a Pendulum. And then you'll use its effect. In this case we'll pitch Path and Chewing. This is the optimal version. So we pitch these, and we search out 2 cards from our deck. We'll be searching out one Zephyr Nui and one Yang Zing name that we haven't used the effect of yet.
The fire one.
Yeah. So you synchro these 2.
Baxi.
That's correct.
I'm starting to get this slightly.
Back to you. Don't shuffle anything away because it's turn 1. Use its effect. You blow up your Yang Zing dude, and you search out another Zephyr Nui. You'll be noticing at this point that Zephyr Nui is very important for the combo because it's 6, and that means that you can make Baxia with 2 cards as opposed to 3 cards. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Baxia blows up Suani in order to bring back Jitao, and then Suani's effect special summons Zephyr Nui from the deck. And then you synchro for another Baxia. These 2 obviously go to the Pendulum Zone. Second Baxia. I ran 2 Baxias because that's what you need for the combo. And
Have you ever wanted more?
no, because you can search for Zephyr Path, which will put these back in the deck. Now, you'll use what happens next depends on if you've got completed Pendulum Scales. Let's say for the moment that we don't. So, at this point, what we'd do is we'd
Chowin. When you brought out Chowin?
yeah, we'd have brought out Chai Wen. If we didn't have Pendulum Scale, we'd have brought out Chai Wen. We'd have blown up Sky Iris in order to bring back Bian. It's usually better to go through Bian if you're going through monsters. Synchro, that'll get banished. Special summon Herald that can't be destroyed by battle. And then you overlay these 2 for usually Hope Harbinger. But yeah, that's a fair amount of negation. for just a regular hand without pendulums. If you do have pendulums, we'll go back here. Let's say you had the odd eyes pendulum.
Wouldn't Chai 1 already be in the field?
No, not yet. Because what you can do now, you haven't used your second backs yet. You can pendulum these. You use Zephyr Nui's effect. In this case, you'd use it to search out Yang Zing path. For the proper version of the deck, you'd search out Divine path, the counter trap, and that would be another card that stops your opponent. And you can use that to shuffle Yang Zing cards back into your deck, like say these three, for example.
So many pluses.
In this case, you use Baxia to blow up. You can use Baxia to blow up Zephyraxi, bring back Jitao, and go for an 8, which would be Void Ogre.
And then you'd overlay into Felgrand.
Yes, you'd overlay into, say, Hope Harbinger or Felgrand in this case. Or, once again, if you'd made Chiwain earlier, you can go for, you can blow up Zephyr Nui. No, in this case you would Synchro first for a level 7. We don't run Clearwing in the main for this deck, so I suppose you could go for Ancient Fairy Dragon at this point. And then you could blow up your Sky Iris for a Oracle of Zephyr, if you wanted to. Which would then search you, say, this card. And then you could blow up your Oracle of Zephyr in order to bring back Jitao. Synchro again for Void Ogre. Of course, in this situation you can't Void Ogre because you have the Zephyraxi in your hand. So a better option might be to go for Belzy. And once again, Hope Harbinger. You see, you've got the main combo though, making double backs, yeah, pendulums extending your plays, making sure how many cards you have at the end of your turn. And you pretty much, you have a little bit of leeway for the additional synchro that you can play. So if you want to play, say, Clearwing there, or another card I thought about was Moonlight Rose Dragon. This could be a Moonlight Rose Dragon here, if you want it to be. But that is the combo, and the deck makes that combo pretty consistently. So yeah, that's the deck.
That was done, or?
Yeah, that's us.